Hello all, my name is Jorge Melegati and I'm from the Free University of Bolzano, Italy, and I'm here to present you our full paper case survey studies in software engineering research. So first of all, I want to describe a little of our motivation for this study. There is a large increasing interest in non-human aspects of software development, going beyond of technical aspects of coding, programming, and going to organization aspects, psychological aspects of the people involved in this endeavor. This interest led to the use of several research methods generally employed in social science, like case studies, ethnographies, ground theory, and we've seen several methodological papers on good venues in software engineering about these methods. But more recently, we've seen another important method, case survey. So, what's the goal of case survey? Case survey claims to gather the strength of two common research methods, the case studies and surveys. So a case study is an empirical inquiry that investigates a contemporary phenomenon within its real-life context. So its goal is an in-depth investigation. On the other hand, a survey is a method to collect and summarize evidence from a large representative sample of the overall population of interest. So based on this representativeness of a sample, you can get some variables from this sample, quantitative variables, statistically analyze and reach a generalization, something regarding the whole population. So okay, servers want to bring these two strengths. So basically, is to reach a wider generalization through statistically testing patterns, but from based on in-depth data obtained through case studies. The most common, the most cited, the most referenced methodological paper on case surveys from Larson. The author proposed four steps for case survey. So first, you select a group of existing case studies, and once you collect this data, you design a coding scheme to convert this qualitative data generally presenting case studies to quantitative variables. Who uses this coding scheme? Multiple raters. Generally, the author suggests that multiple raters would be interesting to compare the agreement between them. So you use this to generate the data and the coding scheme to generate quantitative variables. And once you have quantitative variables, you can statistically analyze them towards your goal, your research goal. So far, some studies in software engineering have used it, but we don't know how they use it. So we came up with this research question that will guide our study. So how do software engineering researchers employ the case survey method? So to answer this question, we performed a systematic mapping study. Uh, we employed a query string that we found different synonymous for case survey, and we used a wide approach, a conservative approach to get the most of it, and you just select software and another the query string, and we searched for in four database: IEEE, ACM, Scopus, and Web of Science, with a total of 511 non-duplicated results. After the inclusion and exclusion rate criteria, we analyzed 12 studies. So we've seen increased interest in the method. 10 out of the 12 studies were published in the last 4 years. The research has been published in top venues like TSE, Empirical Software Engineering, IST, JSS, ICSE, and an interesting thing is 11 out of the 12 studies use it indirectly or indirectly when they cite some another paper that when you go to that reference they use Larson's guidelines. So 11 of uh, the studies use it indirectly, these guidelines. But we've seen that researchers in software engineering apply the method in different ways. So in the paper, we described each of these, how these 12 studies in detail, how they employ the method. Here, I will give just an overview. Invite the interested listeners to read the paper. So the first most common way we've seen 5 papers is to use primary. So the researchers themselves go and collect the data generally through questionnaire or online resources like blog posts. And they use the term survey to stress that there is a large number of instances analyzed. They mainly employed qualitative analysis or simple descriptive statistical analysis. Our criticism is not the in-depth analysis because you cannot properly describe a case, call it a case, when you just do a questionnaire, simple questionnaire, online questionnaire, or you get a blog post because there's no triangulation as in common case studies. Other 2 papers made something similar but focus on studies published by the authors. So they have more data, but they still develop some qualitative or analysis and so on. Another common understanding was to perform like a multiple case study with large number of cases. So it's the same group of researchers that also primarily collected the data in a large number of cases. For instance, Peterson and colleagues perform a quantitative analysis. This is an interesting case because they have, I think, 10 people authoring team. So that's how they managed to collect 23 cases. So, but they perform the same cases, the same data collection method for all cases. So it's more like a multiple case study, although they indeed perform some analysis, quantitative analysis. Papateo Karos and colleagues, sorry if I did not pronounce the name correctly, use the method in a strange way because it used to validate a an artifact that the authors themselves proposed, and they did not collect. They collect uh, in-depth data only for a smaller set of the cases they analyze. Of course, especially the Peterson paper is we would say that is in between the multiple case studies and the case survey. So our conclusions are that our results shows that there is still a lack of adherence to the method description, the canonical method description. As consequences, readers and reviewers have difficulty to evaluate the study validity. So we hope that our paper serves as a guide to use the case survey method and call the attention to properly use this method. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.